Okay, take a breath, just settle in for a second. In this explainer, we're going to ask you to look really closely at something. A void, actually, that you stare into every single day. We are exploring the digital void. It's a deep dive into the philosophy and the modern isolation that completely defines our era. So expect a slow, kind of heavy descent into the architecture of our daily lives, where the line between what's real and what's just simulated is blurring more than it literally ever has before. We're going to unpack the dark philosophy hiding right behind the screen you're looking at right now. Look at your physical reality for a second. You're sitting in a room somewhere, maybe it's dimly lit. You've got that familiar blue light from the screen carving deep shadows into your face. And the feed? It's just scrolling at dizzying speeds, reflecting right back into your iris. You feel like you're out there, exploring the world, right? But really, you're just staring into a void. You're reacting, consuming, swiping. You're trapped in this endless loop of digital stimulation, all while the actual, physical world around you just sits there in total silence. Total silence. 96. That's the number. You're going to pick up your phone 96 times today. Just really think about that for a second. Almost 100 times. And the crazy part? You won't consciously decide to do it for the vast majority of those times. It's not a choice. Your nervous system, which has been completely conditioned by continuous algorithmic feedback, will just demand it. You'll reach for it the second you wake up, the exact moment you feel even a flicker of boredom, and right before you close your eyes at night. There's a quote that goes, "You aren't holding a tool, you're holding a leash." Let that settle in. We love to believe we're the ones in the driver's seat, right? We think our devices are just these helpful tools, sitting there waiting for our command. But when your brain is literally addicted to that tiny hit of dopamine, and your body physically demands the next scroll, you kind of have to step back and ask yourself, who is really controlling who here? To really grasp this control, we need to talk about determinism. It's this philosophical idea that our choices aren't actually as free as we like to think they are. Instead, they're shaped by prior causes, things like our environment, our habits, our conditioning. And in our modern world, determinism takes the form of algorithmic manipulation. Look, social media has studied you like a lab rat. It knows exactly what to feed you to trigger that next dopamine hit. So when you think you're freely choosing to click on a video, you're actually just walking down a deeply ingrained, heavily programmed path. And this visible control, it isn't just a metaphor. It is quite literally neurological. Back in the 1980s, a neuroscientist named Benjamin Libet found something wild. Your brain actually starts preparing to make a decision before you are even consciously aware of making it. So your brain is already firing, it's already preparing your thumb to swipe before you even realize you want to see the next post. You feel like you made a choice, but the algorithm and your own neural pathways, they were already on the move. So as we fall deeper into this digital isolation, we run right into a concept called solipsism. This is a deeply unsettling philosophical belief that only your own mind is absolutely certain to exist. Everything else could just be an illusion. Now, apply that to the internet. When you're scrolling through thousands of comments, reading angry posts, watching perfectly curated videos, how do you actually know any of those people are real? They are just data, pixels, information feeding into your senses. Out there in the digital void, you might literally be the only real audience member in a massive auto-generated simulation.
This brings us to a famous phrase by the 18th century philosopher George Berkeley. He said, "Esse est percebi," which translates to be is to be perceived. Berkeley argued that things only exist because they are being experienced by a mind. Now, in our digital age, that takes on a pretty haunting new meaning, doesn't it? Like, do our digital identities even exist if no one is looking at them? We post, we share, we curate, desperately chasing the attention of total strangers because we feel like without their perception, our digital selves just vanish right into the void.
We are living in the ultimate modern contradiction. Think about it. On one hand, you have the massive, physically isolating reality of the city. Literally millions of people living totally separated in these little illuminated boxes. But then, on the other hand, you have the bizarre, hyper-stimulating simulation of the influencer lifestyle. It's glitching, it's breaking apart, revealing how completely absurd it is. We have somehow traded the messy, breathing reality of the physical world for this flawless, simulated existence. And the result? It leaves us more alone than ever. And that leads us to a fascinating and honestly slightly terrifying concept from the philosopher David Chalmers. He calls it the philosophical zombie. Imagine a being that looks exactly like a human, acts like a human, goes through all the daily motions, but has absolutely zero internal consciousness or inner experience. It's basically just an empty shell running a program. So here's a question for you. When you are on hour 3 of autopilot scrolling, just staring blankly at a screen, reacting without actually feeling anything, are you a modern philosophical zombie? Are we actually experiencing life, or are we just reacting to it? This gets right to the heart of what philosophers call the hard problem of consciousness. Why do we even have an inner awareness at all? Think of a thermostat. A thermostat reacts to the temperature, but it doesn't feel the heat, right? When we let algorithms dictate our emotions, our outrage, our desires, we are risking turning off our own inner awareness. We stop genuinely experiencing the world, and we just become these advanced machines reacting to digital inputs. The scary truth is, we built the ultimate trap, and we walked right into it. In the 1970s, philosopher Robert Nozick came up with a thought experiment called the experience machine. It was this hypothetical device you could plug directly into your brain, and it would give you a flawless, perfect life. Constant pleasure, success, joy, and you wouldn't even know it was fake. Well, today, you are holding a version of that machine in your hand. Our smartphones are quite literally pleasure machines, and we voluntarily plug our minds into them every single day. The divide between these two worlds is so clear. Simulated perfection gives us this frictionless comfort, right? It's endless entertainment. It's a curated version of yourself where you never ever have to face awkwardness or failure. But actual human experience, it's messy. It involves genuine struggle, real pain, actual risk, and completely unpredictable outcomes. The digital void offers us this flawless, smooth simulation, but it comes at the steep cost of our actual lived existence. But here is the thing. Despite how alluring that experience machine is, deep down, it just leaves us feeling anxious. It leaves us empty. Why? Because as Nozick pointed out, humanity inherently craves reality. We don't just want likes on the screen, we crave authentic connection. We actually need genuine struggle so we can grow and find meaning. And most importantly, we value truth. Having a perfect life inside a machine feels completely hollow because we want our actions to actually matter in the real world, not just in some closed loop of code. So how do we get out? How do we escape this? Well, the very first step out of the void is simply to recognize the invisible strings. Having awareness of the algorithm, of the determinism, of exactly how your dopamine is being manipulated, that is the true beginning of actual freedom. Because once you know it, you can pause before reacting. You can observe your own impulses and ask yourself, wait, do I really want to do this, or have I just been trained to? By seeing those strings, you can finally start to cut them. We've covered a lot of really heavy philosophical ground in this explainer. From determinism to solipsism, experience machines to philosophical zombies. But the most crucial takeaway isn't just some abstract theory. It's what you do the exact moment this is over. When the screen goes black and the pixels fade away, and all you are left with is your own reflection staring back at you from the dark glass of your phone, who is actually looking back?